Hello, welcome back to Psychology and Counseling Training. Today we are looking at the second topic here, or the module uh, in the trauma and also crisis intervention. And today we are looking at understanding trauma. Uh, so, what is trauma? The models that we use in trauma, these are models that provide framework for crisis and trauma intervention, emphasizing empathy, active listening, and collaborative problem solving. They can be adapted to suit individual needs and situations. So we are talking about, I think we have given the definition of trauma and also the definition of crisis. Now we need to look at specifically what trauma is. So trauma refers to a deeply distressing or disturbing experience that can cause lasting psychological, emotional harm. It can result from various events such as accident, uh, natural disasters, abuse, neglect, or combat. So there are different types of trauma that we are going to look at. Number one, we are looking at acute trauma. This is a single discrete event whereby someone maybe is involved in a car accident, and there is that fear that comes in, and it makes that person maybe uh, to develop the fear of cars, or fear, developing the fear that he or she can be involved in an accident again. Then there is also what is called chronic trauma. Trauma is repeated or ongoing events. There are situations whereby you face this situation time and again. For example, you are in business. You have an event. You have a situation where you make loss. You start another business. You make loss. You start another business. You make loss. So that begins to cause what is called chronic trauma. Sometimes it is just the situation, like someone got married, he divorced, and again he gets married to another person. This person divorces, and it begins to reflect because of the challenges that that person has. I've had a situation in my counseling career where, especially after divorce, the impact that many couples have. Like there was this lady whom the husband left her and went to work somewhere, and that is how he went forever. He never came back, and that's how they divorced. When they was going, it was just going for work. So now what happened was that after after some years, this woman, they divorced and she got married. Now when the man she got married to said that, I want found green pastures somewhere. And what happened was that when this man said, I want to go to this town, that's where I'll be working, the woman demanded that better we divorce. Better we divorce. So what was the challenge in that situation? It is because she believed when a man leaves her and goes to work, he goes forever. So those are chronic traumas. Then there is complex trauma, that is multiple varied events like child abuse and negligence. So complex trauma, it is whereby this person has been abused maybe time and again because of the issues that has been happening in this life, in someone's life, and that creates something like fear of something, and this person is afraid of something, like when a child is being abused when they are young, they develop the fear. Even when they grow up, they begin to develop that fear of being rebuked, fear of being shouted at. So that is complex trauma. Then there is also collective trauma, shared experiences affecting community or group, in terms of disaster, war. there are certain issues that happens, like for a community. Maybe something happens, maybe there is something that comes in the community, and it brings a trauma to the community, and it makes the community to be afraid. For example, like we had gassing, whereby some people have not even recovered from what they saw, what happened, the people that were bent, and all that. That becomes the community trauma, which is collective trauma. Then there is also what is called intergeneration trauma. Trauma passed down to generations. Now, there is that trauma whereby they are, like in Africa, we have slavery trauma. Up to now, we have not been healed from slavery, from colonial. I remember when we were in class, then we were learning about a certain subject, and the one that was teaching us was a white man. Then he said, there are better way of resolving issues than coming into violence, like what happened during the independence. They Instead of just negotiating the issue, they they started violence. I'm telling you that white man found it hard. We all demonstrated, and we even protested his classes, and we hated him. You see, but we were not there. Why? Because of intergeneration trauma. We feel pain when we hear what happened during the slave trade. We feel pain when we hear what was happening during colonial rule. So all that is intergeneration trauma. We have challenges. We have those issues that has happened, and we are still affected from generation to generation, and we have failed to forgive those people that mistreated our parents. Then there is what are the effects of trauma? There are effects of trauma that comes about. Emotional, there is that emotional anxiety, depression, mood wings. So when somebody passes through trauma, there is what is called emotional experience. There is that anxiety. Some people just become anxious, and others they just become depressed, and others just become moody because of what has transpired or what transpired. Then there is a physical manifestation of trauma. When a person is passing through trauma or has experienced trauma, there is that physical physical manifestation of this trauma, which is like chronic pain. Then there is sleep disturbances, smart key complaints. So there is that whereby a person begins to have diarrhea and other things because of the issue that the person passes through. Maybe one, he was involved in an accident. Then you find that there is that which there is he has the diarrhea, and also sometimes you find that this person loses sleep, and also there are a lot of disturbances that happens physically, which manifests physically. And then there is also what is called cognitive. Because of what one undergoes through, there is the issue whereby this person just begins to become afraid, and then he begins to lose memory. Then the negative have the negative thoughts about himself. Like if someone was divorced, you find that this person just loses uh, self-image, thinks I'm divorced because I'm not a good person, I've gone through because I'm not a good person. So those are the challenges that comes in. Then there is also behavioral challenges that trauma will be able to bring. That substance abuse, There are people that just begins to drink and self-destructive behaviors, social withdrawal. There is what is called self-destructive behaviors, where a person, I just better I die, and they begin to live the life reckless. Now, what are the effects of trauma in a community? Number one, social. Socially, what it does is that there is breakdown of social structures, community cohesion, and trust. So you begin to intend to lose trust on people, and also cultural loss of cultural identity, traditions, and values. And also there is economical reduced productivity, increased health costs, and economical instability. What are the response to trauma? How do we respond to trauma? There is what is called fight, flight, and freeze. This is automatic response to perceived threats. When you are going through the trauma, there is just that whereby, like, it's like when you see the snake, and there'll be just that energy that is going to come in, and you want to fight. Then sometimes you just freeze all those things. That is how your one response to trauma. Then there is hyperarousal, increased alertness, anxiety, and stress. So you become alert of issues and the situations in your life because of the trauma that you have gone through. So you become alert, you become anxious. When something is just similar to what you went through, once you happen, you become so anxious, and the anxiety just takes over you. Then there is what is called hyperarousal. The hyperarousal is disassociation and number and disconnection. That is whereby you begin to withdraw from people. Now, how does one recover from trauma, or what are the symptoms of trauma recovery? There is safety and stability, establishing a sense of security and control. Then processing and integration, that is working through the traumatic experiences and begin to recover. Then the third is that reconnection and meaning making, rehabilitation, rebuilding relationships, finding purpose, and new. I was saying that especially in terms of divorce, people undergo through a lot of trauma because there are a lot of changes that happens. If there are issues that brings a lot of traumatic experience is divorce. Then there is also in terms of death, and also in terms of abuse. So you'd find that if a person goes through this situation, they face a lot of challenges. Then there is integration, that is reintegrating traumatic experiences into one's narrative, reducing fragmentation. So that's where now a person now begins to cope up with a situation and begins to integrate himself with other people. Then reconnection, building relationships, social connections, and community ties. Meaning making, finding purpose, and other things. There is empowerment, regaining control, autonomy, and self-efficiency. So when the person, that is a state of restoration. So when we talk about the trauma recovery, we are talking about restoration from trauma, which is the whole purpose that you as counselors you are supposed to do. So that is what trauma is. So we are saying that trauma, it is a situation whereby a person reaches to a person become hopeless, and it has got the negative impact on the people, and the people begins to feel you become not yourself. You begin to look at things differently. So that is the situation that a lot of people have gone through, and most of the issues that we see and the problems that we see, maybe in marriage, in life, in employment, and in many situations, you'd find that it is as a result of the things that people have gone through. There are situations that people have gone through which has made them to behave the way they behave, especially, as I'm saying, in marriage. In marriage, many people have gone through a lot of issues in a relationship. So, as a result, they perceive their partner that comes in as a problem, when in fact they are just bringing the hurt that they had on the other partner, on that person. So, thank you so much, and God bless you. Have a blessed day.